and that is why I'm going to study to become a naturopath, and I'm studying naturopathy at the moment, is because it makes so much logical sense, and it is actually so scientific. I had someone ask me the other day whether how I'm finding my naturopathy course and whether it actually aligns with my science degree. And I actually said to them, yes, like definitely it is so scientific. Like a lot of people probably think, and like I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea what it kind of entailed to be a naturopath when I was younger, and I did see people, you know, doing all the herbs and everything, and I did think it was a bit woohoo and a bit hippie, but it's actually not. Like, I don't know how it got that rap, because it is so scientific, and what I'm learning at uni is the actual chemical makeup and the composition of the plants, like the biological composition and how all those cells work together and have an effect on our bodies. So it's just like how prescriptions and drugs and their chemical makeup can affect our bodies. Herbs have the chemistry as well to do a similar thing. The only difference is that the herbs are natural, so they don't have the side effects like the prescriptions do. Depending on what herbs you take and whether they are the right herbs for what you need, so this is why you can't just go and take whatever herbs you like. Like, you actually do need a professional to tell you what herbs are best for your body and what you need, because obviously if you took a herb that is the opposite of what you want, so for example, when people get a fever, so say that I have a cold and then I get a fever, so I've got the flu or something and I'm sick. The fever, this goes back to, again, annoying symptoms, and they're not actually the enemy. So a fever isn't actually a bad thing. A fever is your body's way of trying to increase the body temperature to fight off bacteria and viruses and that kind of thing. So I'm sure that you have learnt, even if it's just in cooking food, that, for example, if you cook chicken, you need to heat it to a certain temperature in order to kill off the bacteria and to avoid salmonella. So that's kind of what your body does, is that it creates that fever to try and kill off the bacteria because they're then out of their optimum temperature. And even if it doesn't increase the temperature to the point where it kills the bacteria, because that might be your white blood cells coming in and doing that afterwards, the fever can at least increase the temperature so that the bacteria don't reproduce, or they reproduce at a slower rate, meaning that it's easier to get that cold under control. So basically what I'm saying is that the fever, even though it's annoying, it is our body's way of actually trying to fix the situation and fight off what is causing our cold. So in that case, if you had a fever, it would be likely, if you went down the prescription route, that you would take something to fix that fever so that your body temperature comes back down. But the naturopath's way of doing it is to actually give you a herb that induces that fever, that encourages it and works with that symptom and supports your body in increasing its temperature to fight off the bacteria. So it kind of supports your body in doing what it's already trying to do. But an instance where you would not prescribe a herb that induces a fever to somebody is perhaps somebody who's menopausal, because when you go through menopause, your fever is, or your body temperature is already fluctuating, and you already get fevers and whatnot. So it could actually be dangerous in that instance to prescribe a herb to someone who is menopausal. So that's just an example of how herbs act on the body, but I would say that herbs are actually complementing the symptoms and actually working with the body, whereas usually prescriptions are there to kind of like mute the symptoms or mask the symptoms, or to do the opposite of what the symptoms and what your body is trying to do to heal itself. There are actually prescription medication that kind of replicate herbs anyway, so I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think aspirin is actually made from or inspired by herbs. So it's very much reflective. It's just kind of a different approach, and that is why I decided to start studying naturopathy, even though I already have a science degree, because last year when I discovered the symptomatic and root cause approach to healing, it really made a lot of sense, because I'm already a biologist and I've been teaching biology for 4 years, so I understand how the body works. And the idea of, and I already knew that, for example, a splinter and the inflammation in that case, I mean, inflammation can be a bad thing if you have too much and if your body is out of control, if the inflammation's out of control, but it is also a good thing when your body is trying to heal. So it's like anything, it's important to kind of have a balance.
I can help you out. I can